I know we haven't really seen you much on TV lately, but the big news this week, you're a free agent officially now. Uh, just let's talk about, that right now. You're a free agent. Earlier in the month, you made a few posts, and it seemed like January 1st was the day. It's about 2 weeks shy of that. So just how did it come to this? Was it your choice? Early release? Just walk us through.
I just, after, reaching out, they just, Impact was, happy to, grant me, I told them I had some opportunities coming up. And I would like, that early. 'Cause, I mean, there was no, I could feel deep down that they weren't going to sign me anyway, re-signed or do anything. I mean, the writing was on the wall. I was off TV for what, six months,
Yeah, I think
so
it was
like
about that.
it's pretty much forgotten, at that point, which is all fine and dandy. I have no hard feelings. I mean, it sucks to be a victim of the speaking out movement when I was, I had nothing to do with anything, which, like it sucks. And I feel so bad for those victims, but the ones that like me, that kind of lost their job, I feel, over the speaking out movement, because of my relation of my brother, and what he was accused of, and being with Joey Ryan on television in a group, um, probably wasn't good for me either. So I kind of got hit with the double whammy, so to speak. And at this point, like the last thing you see on TV as far as OVE breaking up was me roundhouse kicking my brother in the face. It was the end of OVE, and I went with Joey Ryan, and our name was Cancel Culture. Pretty fitting, huh?
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
odd
yeah,
irony.
yeah, right. The irony, and to be honest, like it's that I look at that as being in the past. I thank Impact for giving me the opportunity for the last 3.5 years of being on television. They gave me a platform and to let me perform for fans that's never seen me before. So I think I have nothing bad to say about Impact. I love Impact. Hopefully in the future, things could get better, and who knows? Never say never in this business, But at this point, I'm not looking at the past. I'm trying to focus on the future and the person that I want to be. So it's like I'm trying to forget, about the past as far as like what the allegation was, that I got hit with the double side. I'm trying to forget all about that. I'm trying to move forward, and I'm trying to find find out who I want to be as a person. If that makes any sense.
Mhm. No, absolutely.
There's no point of harping on in the past. To me, I just want to move forward and look forward to just building this brand and building my character as the Bottom Man in Black, because I was a victim just like most of people around the world in this pandemic. They lost their job. I lost my job during a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Mhm.
I could relate to that. So it's like, it kind of just came together, sort of speak. Yeah, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I wanted to bring up is you have the Modern Man in Black, your new moniker, and just wanted to get into a little bit about where the character comes from. Like, was that a response to the cancel culture stable ending? Is that something you already had in mind that you just thought now's the right opportunity to introduce this and branch out on my own? Like, obviously you just talked about, how your brother and Joey's actions affected you, but now that you are in this situation where, okay, I'm going to be singles wrestler, was that something that you consciously knew you wanted to, you know, portray on whether it's TV or the indies that you're doing?
Yeah, for me personally, for the last 18 years, it was just I was in a tag team. I was in a stable. I never got to branch out to become a single star. Now this is my opportunity to show the world what I can do. So the Modern Man in Black, not necessarily didn't like it came from me. Like it's actually me. Like I was saying, like I was a victim, just like most of the people around the world. That like they're on hard times. I know I'm on hard times right now just as well. I have no job. I've had no job I haven't been paid for 6 months. Been on TV for 6 months. All I've been doing is the indies. Of course I get paid doing the indies, but like being during the pandemic, with the restrictions and all that, it's hard getting bookings, especially the second wave that just hit. So I lost a ton of bookings. I've had every Thursday and Friday booked up. I was hustling, like as soon as I got the news that I wasn't going to be on TV and so on and so forth. I hit the internet hard, and I just was trying to hustle. And like I said, I'm taking this opportunity to branch out on my own, and I finally have the chance to prove not only to the world but myself that I can be this single star that I know deep down that I can be. Not to try to sound cocky or anything, but like the Modern Man in Black. Basically, I could sum it up in one sentence. I'm a rock star that happens to be a pro wrestler, and nobody can play the three string better than me.
Yeah, I mean, more to your point, I think you have to have that confidence. I don't think it comes off as being cocky at all. But how much does music influence you? Because you think Modern Man in Black, like there's the Johnny Cash reference,
Oh,
and I noticed you have some merchandise with a Prince style logo with the JC. So how much does music play an influence in your life?
music right now is a big influence in my life. I went, believe it or not, I went through a period of time. So like, and I'm not ashamed of this at all. Like, I hope this doesn't come off, of offensive to anybody. But when I was a kid, through high school and actually starting in middle school, when I found out about, I was listening to Tupac, just a little bit of Tupac and a little bit of rap, the gangster rap, genre, that they would say back in the early '90s.
Mhm.
When I was in now I'm showing my age, right? Uh, but I got into the Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
I Great Malenko. I became a huge juggalo, and that's all I listened to was ICP from middle school all the way to high school. And then there was a period from there when I had my first child. um, I stopped listening to music that had cussing or any offensive type of language, or anything bad that might corrupt or anything.
Mhm.
My daughter, I wanted I wanted her to become her own person. So I just kind of stopped listening to music in general. Just didn't listen to it like at all. Like look like being on the road, if somebody would play something, that's when I would hear music. But like as far as me as general, like it was probably like a good 10-year period where I just didn't listen to music. And then I just about 6 years ago, when I started booking Rockstar Pro Wrestling in Dayton, we had shows every Wednesday and the first Friday of every month, and started getting into music then. That's when, like, I found, Prince. I always, like, as kids, you'd listen to it, like Michael Jackson. I was a huge Michael Jackson and Prince fan, like when I was a kid, like, talking like 6, 7, 8 years old, trying to moonwalk just like everybody else, So like, I listened to that stuff, but like, as far as, the middle school ICP stuff, didn't listen to music for like 10 years. I got into music heavily when I started booking Rockstar, and I based my artist character around Prince. And it just, and it was like, I really felt like an artist because of what I was creating every week as far as building a crowd. Like when I started booking Rockstar, there was 15 people in the crowd, and we built it all the way up to about 450. Like on a big Friday, which is like, it might not sound huge to, a lot of people, but in Dayton, Ohio, in independent wrestling, drawing 450 people, it's huge. Like we would sell out our building every pay-per-view that we had on Friday. So, I built that character because I really felt deep down that I was an artist, and I still feel like an artist of because of what I create in the ring, as far as matches and so on and so forth. Building around that. So like, and then, I started listening to, Johnny Cash and so on and so forth. I got into Prince, Johnny Cash, was my two biggest influence, and still is, with the Modern Man in Black. Like you said, the JC logo is basically, kind of based off of the Prince logo. And that's basically me being a huge fan of Prince, and, a big nod to him. And, like I said, I feel deep down that I'm an artist. And with Johnny Cash, he's the first ever rock star. In my opinion, like it's Johnny Cash. I know he's country music genre, but to me, Johnny Cash is the very first ever rock star. And what he sings about, what he's about, like the blue collar, hardworking man. That's what I am deep down, and that's what I do. I try to provide for my two little ones. I try to bring that bread to the table, and that's basically what, to sum it up in, like I said, one word in one sentence, is I'm a rock star that happens to be a pro wrestler, and nobody can play the 3-string like I can.
No, I because I'm thinking back.
Kind of like, did I stump you there? I was like, was your mind like, wow?
No, I actually appreciate the explanation, but I think it's funny that the parallel you made between you started off listening to like the gangster rap, like the death row stuff, and then you went into ICP, because I was kind of the same way.
Yep.
Where I had a friend I met in middle school, and he was like, okay, here's ICP. I think it was like
Malenko was the first CD everybody listened to.
Yeah, it was like,
go ahead.
No. That I was going to agree. Like Malenko, and then you went backwards, and then like
found
Jekyll Brothers came out.
Box was amazing.
Like
Chicken
it's
hunting,
just
woo.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's strange how that
it's
kind of
awesome how like you could actually listen to chicken hunting, and it kind of relates to today. Like what ICP is all about has always been equality amongst the people. Doesn't matter who you are, and that's what I loved about ICP. And that's that's why I was such a huge juggalo. It's still am. Like I worked for JCW. I was Red Rider.
Okay.
Won the JCW Tag Team Championships multiple times. I'm actually trying to get back in. I was talking with them actually yesterday to get back into the psychopathic records and try to get in and do some work,
Mm-hmm.
which would be great. Like
Yeah.
that was kind of a dream come true too.
Yeah, that's
And
got
like
to be cool.
Working for ICP was amazing, not only for like the wrestling wise, but like I got to be a clown on stage and spray Fago around. It was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Like to shoot Fago amongst a sea of people. It was an experience that I feel that everybody should experience is going to an ICP concert. It's just for the experience alone. If you
Yeah.
don't like the music, I'm sure you've been to a few concerts.
I will point out, I only went to one JCW event, but again, the same friend was visiting his sister who went to Ohio State. So he's like, come with me for the weekend. And we drove out with his parents and they're like, well, what do you guys want to do? And he's like, yeah, JCW's playing, they're having an event at whatever venue it was. And we went and I was just like, this is actually, it's like a legit wrestling event because before it was championship and then they changed to championship,
Right.
and legitimized it a little bit. And it was like a full scale wrestling event. And then they kind of had a concert at the end. And I was like really taken back by like the level of production. And then you go and find out how much they actually do love and respect wrestling.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Joe and Joey is amazing with the JCW stuff. That was amazing to be a part of that.
So I know we started talking about, just taking care of your family, being parents. And one thing I thought was really, really cool was I listened to last week's episode of Wild On, Taylor Wild's podcast. Your wife, Nevaeh, was on there. I didn't know you guys were high school sweethearts. Most people just know like, okay, you're married and you're from Ohio. And I mean, how much I don't really know you guys as a couple. I know you as individuals and you as a tag team. So, I mean, have you guys worked a lot together, intergender, or was it always really the
No,
Irish Airborne or?
yeah, like I don't know why, but like it was just always we kind of just concentrated on our own careers. We should have, put that out there more. I feel now, especially with intergender being as hot as it is. But to be completely honest, I think as far as I'm concerned, I probably am had I can't. I think my last intergender match was with my wife, and I'm probably never gonna wrestle intergender again.
Any particular reason for that, or you just really want to focus on yourself right now?
No, it does. Like it focuses on it's being a parent. Like I don't like when I was doing the stuff on TV with Tessa. Like it at first, like it kind of it kind of bothered me just because my daughter's 16.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really think about it, like Tessa's really not that much older. Like what, like 9 years older or some odd, like, what it would is like, that's not that much older than my daughter. So it's like, I don't want my daughter to go to school and like, a schoolmate comes up and being like, or a classmate comes up and be like, hey, here's, a video of your dad beating up a woman. Your dad that, beats on, girls or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm going to just take a stand on that just because of, my children. Like I have two daughters. So like, I don't want my daughters to look back on Google their daddy and see videos of me kicking women in the face.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's my stand. That's why that's why I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Even
that's
though it's hot and people like it and so on and so forth, but like, that's one thing that I want to stand and put my foot down. Like, there will be no more Jake Crist wrestling another female. And it's nothing against anything on that. It's just me personally. I don't want that out there for my children to see. And like speak like this, like with people that the past came out about everybody on the, like, how many people were on the speaking out movement list. Like, I was on the list and I had nothing to do with anything.
Mhm.
So like, how accurate was all that, but like I said, I'm just trying to move forward, and that's one thing that I will put my foot down on and won't do. Just only, it's just because of my children. I don't want my children to see their dad wrestling a female.
Yeah, and I don't think you can explain it any better. It's, it's hot. It's people are going to be into it, and I think it's just, you're taking the right stance as a parent. Like, if
Well,
anybody
I'm
else
just
wants, if anybody else wants to do it, whatever. But it's just,
yeah,
it's the
people.
dad.
It's good to think about the now, but like, I'm also trying to think about the future. Like, I don't want to be old and gray, and like I said, daddy likes to beat on women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and not, it won't be that case, or daddy likes to wrestle women. I went to 10% there, sorry about that,
All right.
but
No
like,
problem.
that's just my stance.
No, I think that it's respectable. I think they'll understand it.
I hope so. Like, I hope people understand. It's just me, as a parent. And I think
Uh,
any parent out there, would agree with me.
yeah, absolutely. And to sum it up, as you're looking towards the future, you're moving out on your own. You're establishing yourself as the modern man in black. So, is there a match or series of matches that you'd maybe point to if people are looking to see, who you are as a wrestler? Like, obviously, you had an X Division championship run. Are there any matches in particular that stand out that you would point to and say, hey, here's what I'm about. Here's what you can expect when you see me in the ring coming up in 2021?
Oh, matches for Impact Wrestling. Like I said, I mean, I love the opportunities at Impact Wrestling, and they made me grow as a person, and they taught me a lot of things about the business. So, like, the two matches that I would say would be me defending the X Division Championship against Aiden Prince, and then me winning the X Division Championship against Rich Swann. Two good matches, two single matches that I actually got to, actually show the world, that what Jake Crist can do.
Mhm. All right. You guys probably, if not on YouTube, you could find them on Impact Plus. Tons of content on there. Uh, Jake, look forward to seeing what you're doing in 2021. You guys want to check out more of his work? Where can we find you on socials?
The Jake Crist at Instagram and Twitter. I'm not good with social media.
It's a
But
necessary evil.
Twitter, Twitter and Instagram at the Jake Crist.
All right. Modern Man in Black, Jake Crist, thanks very much for your time.
No, thank you, sir, for having me. I appreciate you.